Hey people, it's This and That with T. I figured I would try a different way of recording. I don't know how well that's going to turn out. But I just got off from work, so it's really comfortable. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video while it was fresh in my mind. One of the things that has been on my mind for quite some time, and I feel like I never really talk about it, even within my family, is a program that members of my family, not all, are a part of, which is the Federal Witness Protection Program. And yes, you heard me right. This is a program that does exist. It exists beyond the movies. And I happen to be a part of this program, whether I wanted it or not. And I'm going to say I didn't want it. My family, and like I said, I will say this a zillion times, not all members of my family are a part of this program. However, I am, and I have been I'm 48 now. So I'm going to say for like 42 years. It's my understanding I was about 3 or 4 years old. There are a lot of things I don't know. Just as this program and being a part of this program is supposed to be secret, it's like my family over time has been brainwashed. So the core people, the initial people that are a part of this program, not the people who are affected by the program, they don't ever want to talk about it. Both my parents are dead. They've passed on, and the only one who even would touch on it was my mother. And there was only so much she would say, and that still carries on. It's almost like it doesn't exist. Like they just have wiped it from their mind, and when you bring it up to them, they don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy because my other people in my family that are my age who've been affected by this program, we want to know. We've talked about it in the past, but we don't demand the answers. I think I have at times, but doing it by myself, it doesn't really help. And I think we deserve answers. We cannot get answers from our families. We cannot get answers from the U.S. Marshals. And that's a whole nother thing in itself because, yeah, it's ridiculous. So, just a little background. I have not known this my whole entire life. It has been a secret. It is one of those family secrets no one ever talks about. It wasn't until I applied to get my birth certificate. I needed it for a job or school or something. And when I applied for it, I had put my mother's maiden name, I put my name, and I'm not really sure how or what wires were crossed. All I know is that instead of getting a copy of my birth certificate, I received a phone call from the U.S. Marshal. At the time, I was maybe 27 years old. Now, I had no idea what any of this was about. This person on the other line was very vague, very mysterious, and basically let me know, before my family did, that I was a part of this program along with my parents. So immediately I contacted my mom. I tried to talk to my dad. My mom is the one who let me know that yes, this indeed was true. And that's kind of all I got really at that time. And the reason that I was contacted by them was because there was some sort of mix-up back in the 70s that one record wasn't totally demolished or removed, and both of them came up, which flagged them, and they contacted me. Well, at the time, in having this conversation, this person came to my house. We had a meeting, and they came to my house. And I said, you know what? I basically just want to have my birth certificate. But I want my original birth certificate with my original birth name, not some made-up fictitious name that came about by circumstance. And so they gave me that. Now, apparently they made notes or something saying that that's the name I was going to go by. No. My reasoning for having that is that I found out recently, at that time, that my name was not my name. Also confirming that my dad was not my biological dad. Some more to come on that. And my mom's adopted. So I don't have like what you call any type of family history, really. So I wanted that. I wanted something that was real and tangible. And I wanted to be able to use that as my maiden name, because that is the name I was born with. And I wanted that. Didn't mean I wanted to change my name to what the maiden name was or my birth name. I had been married, had been divorced, had my name. That was who I was. But I wanted to be able to use my real birth certificate. That was it. So we'll come back to that later because, yeah, apparently people seem to just make up stuff as they go. So in doing that, I've moved on with my life and do what I do. And, but what a lot of people don't tell you is that when you want to do things, having this kind of history makes it very hard to do a lot of freaking things that you don't think about until you get older in life. You start to wonder which name are you supposed to use. Getting your passport. Getting a passport in my family has been a challenge. I don't have a passport. I've never actually applied, and I wanted to a couple of years ago. And there's been issues, like you have to go through a whole lot of different things, but I'll give you an example. So I had gotten married almost 3 years ago, and I changed my name to his name. I wanted to get my new license. I had already got my new social security number, my new card with my new married name on it, which is hyphenated. And I went to go get my driver's license. Now, most people are now seeing the true ID. And at one point, I guess it was an option, but in the state of South Carolina, it's not an option. It's basically, there is a new requirement where you have to show every single step of how your name has changed if you've had it changed for whatever reason. You need to show documentation. Well, that was a little difficult for me because I had a name that was given to me by this program, the Witness Protection Program. And then I got married. Then I got divorced, but I kept the name. And then I got my birth certificate with my original name on it. I never even had the one with the given name by the U.S. Marshals or by the program. I never had it. My parents had it, but I never had it as an adult. And so then I got married and had that certificate. Now, on my first marriage certificate, it shows the maiden name that I was given by the U.S. Marshal, the first name I ever had, lived with my whole entire childhood. My second marriage shows my actual birth name. So that created conflict, and I was having a hard time getting my license. And so I reached out to the U.S. Marshal here in South Carolina. All I can say is, oh my God. Now, when I first spoke to these people, I thought, okay, they're going to be helpful. They're hearing what I'm saying. That was the first conversation. Yes, we understand where you're coming from. We get it, blah, blah, blah. However many weeks went by, still nothing. I reached back out. Now, when you call these people, you go through like some screening person in which you kind of like tell them, because apparently when you're a part of this program, they have handlers, and you have like a case number or some sort of identifying number, which as the kids of people who were the adults in this program, we don't have that. So you kind of have to go through a bunch of crap. And then they finally patch you through to someone who you get a first name, you don't get last names. And if they call you back, here's the cloak and dagger crap. When they call you back, it's all zeros. It's really creepy. It really puts you in the state of mind of what other programs are out there. And, seriously, it is much like the movies in that sense. And so I got a lot of runaround. And then it got to a point where it was however many months later. Now, at the time, I was going to school for my real estate license, and I needed to have my driver's license. I mean, hello. and I needed to match my actual name that's on my social security card, number one. And so I was going through a bunch of hoops and I couldn't believe it. And when I finally got this guy on the phone, and I don't even know, because the voice was different, I don't even know if it was the same guy. Now, I know you're sitting here like, oh, this is crap. I've said it to a million people that I know that my life is like a Lifetime movie, and I kid you not. I am not BSing you. This mess is real, and if you want to know how real it is, look at American Gangster. My family, and the reason why we're a part of this program, has everything to do with the real characters in that movie. That's pretty much all I can say. I mean, I don't really even know that much. I just know that my family was a part of that. But what I will say is that trying to get the assistance that you need as a child of someone who's been a part of this program is very difficult. And I'm sure there's others out there who have, I don't know, experienced this. I've read some articles, I've read some stories, I've seen some interviews, but there's really not much out there for the kids of this program and how it affects our lives and our children's lives later on. It's no one ever talks about it, and we don't have any help. If you have a handler in the state that you're in, because I'm from California. Now, my brother went through a situation. Amazing. They're amazing out there in California. So thank you, U.S. Marshals in California, because he went right to their actual location, their office, and got his documents that he needed right then and there. He had to wait pretty much an entire day and spend the day there, but so what? Me, on the other hand, here in South Carolina, yeah, here's what I got. I got accused or basically treated as if I had committed some sort of crime myself. I had been treated as if somehow I was portraying myself as somebody else to be somebody else. No, I'm not doing that. Y'all are doing that for me. I have always been the same person. I've had the same names, first name, same social. That was one of the things he asked me. Oh, have you tried to use a different social, or did you apply for a different social security number? No. And you know exactly what I did, because they have the power to see all of that. Now, I know that's been proven just by my brother. I was told here, oh, well, we can't just give you a license. Oh, we can't just give you a passport. Okay? Bullshit. My brother went there. Just as you can make them for someone in this program, you can make them for the kids that are going through all kinds of crap because of this program and what it does to people. My brother was able to go to that office, and they were able to make those documents for him right then and there. The same thing could be done here, but they gave me all kinds of hell. And let me tell you, I got my driver's license, but it wasn't because of their help. It literally was 6-7 months later, and I had already tried to go to DMV 3 different times, hoping that, someone was going to listen to me, or I don't know, maybe someone was going to hear something, see something, maybe just not look at a document or just whatever. And sure enough, I think it was either the 3rd or 4th try, I went there, and I was crossing my fingers, and I was able to get my doggone driver's license. Now, here's the thing. I'm being made to feel as if I'm committing some sort of crime. I'm being made to feel like I'm doing something wrong. And that's exactly how the handlers here, and I'm going to say this, in South Carolina, made me feel. They weren't helpful. They were accusatory. And I am appalled by this kind of behavior, the unprofessionalism. And here's the thing. There's nowhere for me to report this. I don't even have a name for this person. The email that they have, it's some random Gmail. For all I know, I'm talking to different people. I don't even know. Never met this person in person. And here's the funny thing. Months later, I get an email randomly out of the blue talking about, I see that you got your license. Now, I find it fascinating. You couldn't help me, but you were monitoring me. And no, I didn't use or do anything to get my license. I went there with my documents. But here's the thing. I am who I am. They know who I am. Fingerprints to prove it. Hello. They can see anything and everything going through my whole entire life. I mean, we're talking about It's not even a background check. They have everything they could possibly need or want to know about me. They have access to all of that. So for this person to sit on the phone and try to accuse me of trying to put out a false identity somehow is ridiculous, because I got married, because I wanted my original fucking birth certificate with my actual fucking real birth name on it. Yeah, is ridiculous. Bottom line is, they didn't help me get it. Passport didn't help me get that either. They could easily just send it to me, bring it to me, have me go pick it up, but that's never happened. And yeah. Do I want to travel? Yes. Did I have to cancel a cruise that my daughter and I were going to go on? I did, because of this kind of crap right here. I am a law-abiding citizen. I've committed no crimes, unless you count like driving with expired registration tags on my car. You know, I mean, come on. And they could check any of that if they wanted to. Now, what I would like to know is, who do we go to? Who advocates for the people who are going through all kinds of crap just to sit up here and prove our own identity when you guys gave us the fake one to begin with? If there is some sort of advocacy group out there that I'm not aware of, I would love to hear about it. If there is some sort of support system, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear other people's stories and what you go through. I think it's time that these things be talked about. Apparently it is frowned upon to have these discussions, but why? Most of the people that were a part of this program to begin with, they're not even here on this earth. And it's been many, many years. And you know what? I'm tired of my life being some sort of secret. The bottom line is, my father was a part of this program. And because of things that he did. And other than that, I don't know much more than that. But it has affected my life immensely. And I can't really ever talk about it. I can't talk about a lot of different things, and it just needs to stop. I'm going to be 50 years old soon, and you know what? I should be able to fill out an application and not worry about, oh my God, what name and who's going to ask me what and how do I explain this? Because they don't give you a number. Like when there's questions, there's no number. So right now, I'm going to do what a cousin of mine did. I'm just going to apply for my passport. And if they ask me, well, where is the chain of documents for said change name? I'm going to do what she did. Contact the U.S. Marshal Department. And hopefully they'll be able to, do whatever they did for her. I know it took some time. This is not something that, even though it really shouldn't take all that long. So I just want to know feedback, stories, any type of hotline, advocacy, something, because I have no clue. And honestly, I'm tired of being a slave to this whole thing. I mean, I don't know if that's a good term to use. I don't really care, because that's how I feel. I feel like I cannot get any help. I can't have any conversations. And it's time for people who are part of this program to be able to get some kind of help. And it shouldn't be, well, in this state, they're very helpful, and in this state, they're not. I didn't put myself here. I did not. And obviously, whoever came up with this program did not think about the after effects for those who really had, besides being born into it, we had nothing to do with whatever went on. And we shouldn't have to pay for it. So, I would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see you on the next saga of This and That with T.